Okay, as I said, we'll start the class and we'll just continue from where we left yesterday. Yesterday, we started with distribution management. And what I did yesterday was help you understand why we need distribution, which was spatial discrepancy, temporal discrepancy, need for breaking the bulk, need for assortment, economic efficiency. And once we are clear why we need distribution channel, the next was how does it happen? So we discussed the flows, which was the physical flow, title flow, payment flow, and information flow. While information flow happens both sides, payment flow only happens in the reverse direction, and physical flow and the title flow happens in the forward direction. The difference between the physical flow and the title flow was ownership, and ownership is a very, very big thing, which especially becomes paramount importance if there is a problem, and therefore there is a difference between physical flow and the title flow. All this results in helping the customer get the product or the service in the form that one needs, at the time that one needs, at the price that one needs. And yes, you become the owner. So in short, this is why distribution management is so important. I further went on to discuss about some of the innovations that have happened in India in the distribution management, and of which I'm really, really proud of, and which have continued. So I'm not talking about innovations which happened just yesterday or most probably a year back, and we are very excited about it. I'm talking about innovations which have sustained over a period of time, be it Arvind Eye Care, be it the Shakti Amma concept of Hindustan Unilever, or the e-Chopal. I could not show you the video of e-Chopal yesterday, which I will today later when I've just finished telling you a little bit more about the distribution management. India is a unique country, a country where at times accessibility may be a problem, a country which is the second largest in terms of population of the world. And there's a huge consumer base over here. Reaching to everyone is extremely important for any company, especially, I mean, obviously, if your target segment is the one which we are talking about. And in such a scenario, distribution management becomes extremely important. Two entities which have the best distribution network in our country is, one is the postal system. Go to any village, go to any corner of the country, and you will find a post office. And second is SBI, the State Bank of India. Again, the number of branches it has, and everywhere you find a State Bank of India. Of course, the product, which is easily available everywhere in our country, so you may not find anything else, but at every 200 meters, you definitely, you know that you can always find a cigarette, which means ITC also has a great distribution network. Talking about all this, let us go forward to understand and continue from where we left yesterday. And yesterday, this is where I left you. I hope the screen is visible. In case it is not visible, unmute yourself and let me know. If you have any problems, any doubts, or any suggestions, any contribution, unmute and let me know. So as I said, I will show you each of us towards the end of the class. But let's now go forward once we have understood that why we need distribution management, what are the flows it results into, and finally, how is it useful for the consumer. Let us understand the channel design. Is it something that happens every day in the company? No, this is a very, very intricate and a very, very difficult process. And what I'm going to tell you in the next 10 minutes is just the basic, just the, at a very general level, so that you understand that how channel design happens. So when we are talking about channel design, they say that these are the things that we should look forward to. Now let's understand this with an example. So the first thing, it says customer needs. So let me take two products. Yeah. And so one, let it be a car. And second, let it be a soap. Any soap. Right now, we are not really looking at brand. And it says analyze customer needs. Now, what are the customer needs? The first one, bulk breaking. Now, what does it mean? It means that I need one car or two car, whatever. So I need to buy one car. Great, fantastic. So what does it mean? Again, bulk breaking means that maybe I need to buy one soap or two soaps or a packet of 5 soaps. But again, bulk breaking happens here also. So bulk breaking is common in both card as well as soap. However, let's proceed further. And spatial convenience. Now, what do I mean by spatial convenience? So how much am I willing to travel to buy a car? So most probably I'm right now in Viman Nagar in Pune. And I'm willing to travel to Shivaji Nagar to buy the car if the dealer is over there. So what does it mean? Yes, I'm willing to travel a distance, which may be whatever, depending on the place, between 5 to 10 kilometers. How much am I willing to travel to buy? How much am I willing to travel to buy a soap? I'm not willing to travel 5 kilometers, 10 kilometers to buy a soap. I just want to step out of my institute and I hope there's a grocery store from where I can buy the soap. And similarly, it's true for the house also. So maximum that I'm willing to travel, maybe, which is also a huge distance, is 1 kilometer. So while on one hand for the car, I'm willing to travel, for the soap, I'm not willing to travel. Then it says waiting time. What do you mean by waiting time? Am I willing to wait for the delivery of the car? Yes. So if they say, okay, it will take a week or so, it's okay, we need to do some customizations or whatever, I am willing to wait. However, if I go to the grocer and he says, ma'am, it will come after 1 week, and if you come after 1 week, you can buy the soap, I am not willing to wait. And finally, assortment or service backup. So when we are talking about service backup, of course, I expect the dealer to have a service backup, because it's not just, as you say, buying the car is easy, it's the maintenance of the car which is a problem. While on the soap, there's not really any service backup. What service backup are we talking about here, right? So we are not looking at any service backup. The moment I understand the needs of the customer, because what is marketing? Marketing is understanding the needs of the customer profitably, delivering the needs of the customer profitably. The moment I look at the needs of the customer, I understand that though the fundamentals remain the same. So we are still talking about spatial discrepancy, temporal discrepancy, the various flows, etc. However, the picture is emerging in a different manner. I understand that for a car, people are willing to wait, while on the other hand, for soap, they are not willing to wait. For a car, they are willing to travel. For a soap, they are not willing to travel. You don't just sell a car, you have to maintain a relationship with the customer in terms of a service backup. However, for a soap, that's not true. What does it mean in practical implementation? It means that I need to maintain inventory for a soap. Because if I'm not having inventory for the soap, the customer will go away. What does it mean in practical implications? It means that when we are talking about the number of channel members, the number of channel members for the soap would be far more than the number of channel members required for a car, because a customer is not willing to travel to buy a soap. Also, what does it mean in practical implication? That a dealer of the car should also have the resources to provide a service backup. The moment I'm clear about the needs, I understand that the practical implications will be absolutely different, and therefore the way the channels would be designed would be absolutely different. And isn't it so true? The way channels are designed for the soap are absolutely different from the way the channels are designed for the car, though the fundamentals remain the same, right? If I take it further, what does it mean? Because I learned, so what did we first do? We implemented that why we need distribution channels, and we implemented it and we got this. The second was flows. What does it mean in terms of physical flow? That is the different flows, that is the physical flow, title flow, information flow, and payment flow. Let's, for example, take the payment flow. For the car, it means, so how do people buy a car? People buy a car by taking a loan. So when I'm talking about a payment flow, then it means that we as a dealer, as a manufacturer, need to tie up with the various banks so that people are able to take a loan. If they are not able to get a loan, they will not buy the car. So my payment flow becomes more specialized when I'm talking about the car. On the other hand, when I'm talking about the soap, then no, nobody's taking any loan. And maybe the whole business is happening on cash, right? So the consumer actually comes and gives the money and buys the soap. While on the other hand, for the car, he gives the loan papers or whatever, he has taken a loan, and therefore the payment flow or the fundamentals remain the same. The way it is implemented is different. Similarly, when we are talking about, for example, the title flow, the documentation required for the title flow for the car is far, far more than the documentation required for the title of the soap. In fact, there's hardly any documentation required for me as a consumer when I go and buy a soap. However, when I as a consumer go and buy a car, there is a certain documentation required to prove that, yes, I am the owner of this car. What does it mean? Again, for the channel members, it means that those who are involved in the cars, the title flow is not just a simple title flow. There is a lot of work behind it in terms of even legal things, right till the consumer level. On the other hand, for the soap, the title flow does not involve so much of documentation or legal work, at least till the consumer level. I hope you're understanding that how the basics remain the same, the fundamentals are changing. And therefore, though the same things apply for both car and the soap, when we actually implemented the channel design are absolutely two different things. And that's how we implement it in the practical. Since there is a presentation, let me leave you at this point with this thought and helping and just understand from you that have you understood what I'm talking about today, or is there any question? If there is, ask before I end my part of the conversation today and show you the video and pass on this platform to the next group. Any question? Okay, great. Since we are all clear, so we'll end my part of the class here. I'll show you a video, and after that, the group, please, you can take over. Give me